Just recapping last weekend, I just was so proud of our crowd. Homecoming, third sellout this season. Just incredible atmosphere, and just want to tip our hat to our student section, our band, our spirit squad. Just what a great atmosphere at our game, and just really appreciate the support that we got and from our fans. Really proud of our team. Our team has gotten into a good routine of how to prepare and how to practice and how to do little things that allow you to play good on Saturdays, and just really proud of the fundamentals and effort and physicality that we brought to the field on Saturday. And that's got to continue. Our defense really prepared well. I'm just really impressed with the detail that our guys are starting to play with. We're starting to be more disruptive. The turnovers were really huge in the game, and our ability to play the run was really impactful. Playing against a quarterback like that is such a big part of their run game. You need to control him, and we're going to see a lot of players like that going down the stretch, and so it's important that we understand how to do that. And so offensively, we took care of the ball. I was proud of Braden, how he handled the game. We had some really great performances from a lot of kids. In the punt return by Kobe, talk about an unselfish senior. He's not playing a lot on offense, but he just finds a way to contribute on special teams. And so a lot of positives. We basically got 4 weeks left of regular season games, and so that commitment level has got to be ramped up, and it's a time of year where your routine really matters, and so it's going to be important this week. We've got 4 games left. We have 2 road games, and we're heading to Nevada this week. Always a challenge to play them. They're a very competitive group. They've been playing very competitive games this fall. And I got to give them a lot of credit. Their offense is doing a nice job. Matt Lubick is their coordinator. And I told Jeff Choate, I just really kind of tipped my hat to him. I said, what you're doing with Matt and what Matt's done is really, really impressive. And he's done a great job with that offense. I know he's going through some health issues, and just shows the credit and the character that he has. But they've done a nice job. Brendan Lewis, their quarterback, is really playing at a high level. I know he was hurt last week, possibility of him playing this week, but he's played really well. He's run their offense, run the ball effectively, thrown for a high percentage, and done a nice job with them offensively. Defensively, they played very hard. Some really good players over there. Henry Ikahihifo is a kid that we know well. He's playing defense for them now. Good football player. And so it's a challenging week for us. We're excited to go on the road and play in Reno, and ready to hit the practice field and get back to work.
You talked a little bit after the last game. You don't get style points. That's fine. Would you like to earn some style points, though, along the way to make these games maybe a little?
Yeah, I just think that we're really pressing hard to do the things throughout the game that we need to do to win. We check a lot of the boxes sometimes. Sometimes we don't check some of them. I was disappointed that we didn't convert more third downs, especially in the second half offensively. We had some third and shorts, and we had third and mediums. They were manageable, and it's just a matter of getting your eyes in the right spot, running a little bit better route, getting a little bit more separation, a little bit better location on throws. So it's just execution, and we're very close to breaking some more runs. But we've got to do a better job, and if we convert on a couple third downs, now we extend drives, and we got a chance to score. So we'll keep pressing for that. But I'm really proud of the turnovers and taking care of the football. That was really important. I think we learn a little bit more every time we go on the field, and so it's going to be important that we take another step this week.
You talked about becoming more of a physical team. How big of a transition was that for your team? And has it just taken some time to get to this point from the way your roster was kind of built and the way your offense operated prior?
No, it's just a process. I think we've been building it since we've been here. Just recruiting players that have the right stuff, working hard in the off season, doing a great job with your strength program, building that competitive callus, all the things that you have to do to build a team and build a rugged-minded team. And we're getting more players like that. We're getting better examples of that. You know, I'm just so proud of, you know, our big guys, you know, Cam Berto, James Mitchell, Jacob Gardner, Drew Moss. Those guys in the trenches are really consistent. They play extremely hard, and they've shown up every day and given us their best, and that's what you need inside. That's what you need in the trenches to be consistent. And so we're just going to keep building on that. You know, we got a lot of young guys that are watching them and that are learning from them, and you know, I try to point those things out every Monday to our team. But we're not where we want to be, but you know, we're continuing to build a style of play that we want. We're getting more hats on the ball defensively. We're playing with more effort offensively, the hustle blocks and helping our tail back up. Those are things that we emphasize. And so we just got to continue to build on it. This will be a big step this week.
I remember early on in your time here, you saying, you know, Jacob was the guy that you envisioned as a Sunday player at center. What was it about, you know, early on that you liked about him, and you know, what has impressed you most about his progression? He's
just such a consistent player. You know, he started for us since he's a freshman. He shows up every week. He gives you honest day's work. He tries to emulate everything Coach Best tells him at the offensive line, and he's really led that line. And he's having a great year. And you know, since we've been able to move him to center, he's just solidified everything up front for us. And so he's a great leader. You know, I think he's one of the best at his position in the country, and probably doesn't get enough examples or credit for that. But you know, he's a guy that I think has a chance to play at the next level, and you know, we want to get as much as we can out of these next 4 weeks.
What is he like in the room? I mean, it seems like he's probably not the type that's screaming and shouting to rally guys, but kind of quiet leadership.
No, he's a lead by example guy. He's very tough-minded, but he's been a captain for 3 years, and so that's just so rare when you have a guy like that. And it just shows the type of character and the respect that he has from his teammates.
When you talk about being a more physical team, is it as much the recruiting the right guys and Jordan working with him, or how much of it is just changing the attitude to become that team?
It's about how we work every day. I mean, how we practice every day, and so you know, we made some adjustments after last season. We weren't happy the way that things went, especially in some of the close games that we had, and we have gone about rectifying it, and really don't care, to be honest with you, about scheme and all that stuff. It's about the results, and so we're committed to playing a certain way. You know, we're unapologetic about that, and we're going to continue to do the things we feel like we need to do to win. So, I mean, that's kind of the way we feel about it.
You brought up Matt Lubick, and obviously you understand he's going to be on the other side, but you understand the community support that he probably has right now, considering what his father and his family means.
Yeah, I mean, Matt's. I got a chance to spend some time with Matt when we first got here, and you know, just I've known of his reputation as a coach. He's a very, very bright guy, and done a great job. He's been through a tough stretch, but he's come through it and done a fantastic job this year. And so, no, I'm happy for his success, and I hope it continues.
You've mentioned, you know, kind of the physicality and everything you're trying to play with, and you know, it doesn't matter if you win, basically. Was there anything specific that led to sort of the stylistic mindset change, or is it, you know, just part of the off season?
No, I just went back and studied, what the top teams in the country were doing. I felt like we needed to just really look at some things and maybe approach them a little differently. And I've got a lot of different backgrounds in my history. I've been a part of a lot of different teams and offenses and plays, and to me, they're plays. What do we have to do to win? And so, and that's the most important thing is that we do the things that help us win and complement our defense, play really good on special teams, and I think the biggest thing is that, we have a whole team of players that have to prepare and play well. And we're getting a contribution from a lot of guys. I mean, we had 5 different players with explosive plays last week. And so that makes it hard for a defense to try to defend. And Braden's learning every week. Braden is becoming more of an experienced all-around player. Now we're going to go down the stretch, and, he's played Nevada twice already in his career, and so he's been to Reno, so that helps. And so that all those experiences add up, and we really felt like we needed to play better at the end of games, and so we're doing everything we can to address that. And a lot of the things that we've done schematically, practice, off season, go into that.
How do you balance that in playing to your strengths, which you found a nice spot for you guys, with keeping Braden's confidence, I guess, up for knowing that he's a pretty confident guy?
Yeah.
But there's got to be balance there. You kind of shifted that emphasis.
No, there's a lot of things that have happened to us since last year. We've lost a lot of players. I mean, you lose guys like Dallin Holker and Torrey Horton and the guys that we lost in the portal. It's difficult to hang your hat on playmakers if it's a revolving door. I mean, this is an era of NIL and transfer, and so you try to solidify that the best you can. But every year I look at. I learned so much about offense from Tom Moore, and Tom Moore was our coordinator with the Colts, and he'd sit in the offensive staff, and he used to look at the roster, and he'd say, who deserves the ball? And we have good backs. They deserve the ball. Avery deserves the ball. Justin Marshall deserves the ball. We don't have Torrey right now, and we got some good young receivers, and they're good players. And so we'll just continue to build on that and develop playmakers. I really believe in developing playmakers. And, I think Braden has gotten more confident as we've moved through the season. He's more comfortable in what we're asking him to do. And he's learning how to be a field leader and put his team in position to win games. And that's going to be incredibly important down the stretch. And I told Braden he can be the difference. He really can. He can be the difference going down the stretch with us in close games, leading us and putting us in position to win.
Having depth on your roster seems like it could really lend itself to like a more physical style of play. Is like the wear and tear a factor right now in terms of like substituting guys? Yeah, the wear and tear is a factor for everybody. I mean, we're in week 9 of a long season. Injuries are part of that. We have injuries just like every other team, and so, Barry Alvarez used to say to me all the time. He says, "Everybody's got problems. Don't think you're the only team that has problems." And so we have to manage and deal with our problems better than our opponents deal with their problems. That's just the bottom line of football this time of year. And we play a physical game. A lot of people don't really talk about what happens in football. I mean, we got a lot of guys that are beat up, just like all the teams are. And, this game is about sacrifice and trying to play hard for your teammates. And we got a locker room of guys that are doing that right now. And so we got to continue to do that. They got to keep putting it on the line. They got to sacrifice for each other. And we got to play through some things, and that's just the way it is.
Jim, what have you seen in your defense that's led to creating 7 turnovers the last 2 weeks, and what do you hope they continue to do to keep that trend up?
I think we're improving. I think we're practicing. I think we're preparing. You know, and I said this at the beginning of the year. I mean, our defensive line has grown tremendously since the beginning of the year. I mean, guys like Gabe Kurtzky and Mukende, they're different players than they were at the beginning of the season. They're playing with a lot more confidence. Kennedy's adding to that. You know, we're getting Noor back, and he's playing more snaps. DeAndre Gill played more snaps. James Mitchell and Cam Barreto have been warriors every week, and so that group has continued to improve. You know, I really give them a lot of credit last week for playing with a lot of discipline and keeping that quarterback in the pocket and making him a pocket passer. He was not nearly as effective as he was the first 3 weeks. We got to continue to do that, and we got to get pressure on that guy and make him throw into coverage. And it won't be any different this week. You know, this week will be the same thing. We're going to have to keep these guys in the pocket. They like to use their quarterback as a runner. That can't be the difference. We have to play good run defense first. That was the key last week. It was playing good run defense, and once we managed that, you know, we outrushed New Mexico, and then our defense did a really good job of creating turnovers, and that was the difference in the game. So, you know, it's a formula every week. Every week you start from scratch. You know, this will be a brand new challenge this week, and we have to rise to the challenge of the game.
Patty's had a really good year. What's his availability like for you?
I hope he's better this week. He had problems with his quad, and so Brian Hansen came in and did a really good job. But I'm hoping Patty's better. You know, he's finishing up his senior year, his last few games, and I'd hate to have him have that thing nag him the rest of the way. So hopefully we'll get him back. Thanks, guys.